So we're here to meet our chief guest, Rashmi Rustagi, from California. She woke up at 3 a.m. to catch her flight today to come here. So
I took a nap. So
she took a nap, but still, that's quite early. But Rashmi and I have an interesting background. Actually, she may not remember this, but I think we met 15 years ago, and I was living in the Bay Area at the time. And she and I exchanged emails and we connected, and we both talked about cinema and our passion for telling good stories. And then I was so impressed. She was this actress, very glamorous. It was very nice. And then now circle back about a year and a half ago, I joined this I don't know what you would call it.
Indie filmmaker producer class,
yeah. And we have weekly coaching calls. And then Rashmi was on the coaching call. And then I thought, wow, her name is very familiar. She looks familiar. I must know her. So then I did some digging and through emails and found out, yeah, we met and everything came back. So anyway, that was really something quite interesting. Rashmi is an incredible talent to have on those calls. She's very interactive. She helps everybody, and she always has really good questions and things that I want to learn from. And she's done a lot of really good work with all of her efforts. She's acted in some big name shows, The Avengers, Grey's Anatomy, Never Have I Ever. How did you land those opportunities?
By getting representation in Los Angeles. You talked about representation. I started out as a theater actor. I started out actually as a 9-year-old All India radio actor in Lucknow, doing plays on radio, and earned all my pocket money through high school, college, and then got married. Standard story of coming to the USA right after marriage and all of that. Didn't do any work for a while, and then we moved to the Bay Area, and there was this amazing theater company that has very solid presence, does lots of plays in Hindi, and Hindi is my first language. And I remember seeing the first Hindi play there, and tears were streaming down my face, because this was after like 20 years of living in America. I was seeing live theater in Hindi. So I joined up and did a lot of plays, a lot of theater with Natak and a lot of other theater companies. Did plays with name actors that were visiting, etc. And then I thought, then I got somebody from LA found me and said, we're making this feature film, and some actor from Bollywood named Boman Rani, you're going to play his wife, and Anupam Kher is in the movie. Oh, Anupam Kher, I heard of that guy. So anyway, I go to LA and I play this feature film opposite Boman Rani, and then the film bug kind of got me. So then looking around LA, nobody wants to represent a middle-aged brown woman who has no union, Screen Actors Guild, SAG credit, who does not live in LA. So this one shady agent, I found out later was shady, said, change your phone number to an LA phone number, 310. And if I call you for an audition tomorrow, you better be there. And I said, I'll be there if you call me for an audition by noon or later. Because I knew I could get in my car from Palo Alto and drive 6.5 hours and be there. So I did. I started going to auditions, and I booked this little audition. I had this little audition. That audition, I had to go through 5 firewalls to get this script. So it was something big. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't care less. It was an audition. I drove at noon. I started at 6 a.m., got there at noon, did the 3-minute audition, took a nap in my car, drove right back, bought food from Whole Foods. Nobody knew I was missing all day. There was dinner at the table. And 3 months later, I get a call. I had booked a bit part in The Avengers. And I still didn't know it was a big deal. I had a scene with Mark Ruffalo, and it was going to be directed by Joss Whedon and all of this. And when I told my children, they were more excited about it. I said, Mom, this is a big deal. That's why you had a 5 firewall script, etc. So anyway, I got that part. I thought, okay, this is it. My career has launched. I'm going to be big in Hollywood. No such thing. I kept struggling because, again, who writes parts for middle-aged brown women? So here and there, Mom, this, that, and Grey's Anatomy, and stuff like that. And then came 2019. We were living in Bakersfield at the time. And this is a long story.
No, this is good. So, very good.
I was living in Bakersfield, and my OBGYN, South Indian lady, said, you're a filmmaker, you're a storyteller. I am so tired of young women who come to me, especially if they have 2 female children, asking for an ultrasound so they can get rid of this baby if it's a female child. And that was like jaw dropping to me. I have a son and 3 daughters. Like, this is America. What are you talking about? So anyway, I interviewed 5 OBGYN and then found out that this is happening all over Central Valley in California, where abortion is legal, which is fine. But then women who have 2 girl children are absolutely not going through horrific ways to get rid of female fetuses. Anyways, so I made a short film. It's on Amazon Prime. It's an award-winning film. I wrote a fictional story about a fictional family where the daughter-in-law is being coerced into getting an abortion. And I play the good mother-in-law that at the end says, this is your body and it's your choice, which is what the message that I wanted to teach every girl and my daughters. So that film did very well. It's a 17-minute film. It's on Amazon Prime called Unborn. And that kind of lit the bug of writing and producing. Then the pandemic came, there was no work as an actor. So then I wrote this film, which is again based on 2 of my friends' stories in affluent Silicon Valley, middle-aged Indian women who are still stuck in abusive marriages, and a close relative. And I wrote this. Writing comes hard, and it took me 3.5 years to write the script. It went through many iterations. I think this is the 75th version that I finally made. I took classes, I read books, but it was my story. And everybody, when I tried to hire a writer, I was told, everybody who gave me advice in the production class said, it's your story. You write it, you own it. Don't take it to a studio to make it, because the first thing they'll do is kick you out as the lead actress. They will bring in some famous actors. So you own it, you make it, you get the funds, and which is what I did. So I self-funded the film, I wrote it, I produced it. It's a union film, Screen Actors Guild film. So I got powerful actors. The guy who plays my abusive husband has a MFA from NYU. He plays my abusive husband in another feature film, which is on Amazon Prime. He's a very good actor, very sweet guy. And that movie is called Hungry, and it's on Amazon Prime. But anyway, so I did that, and now we're here. Now we're here where the film is going through festivals, and eventually, when the festival journey is over, it will be on a streaming platform, Hulu, Amazon Prime, probably. Netflix pays very little, so I'm not targeting Netflix.
All right. I think we should show a clipping of your film, Designed by Preeti, and then I'll ask you a few questions about that.
And I'm sorry, my answer was very long.
No, that was good. That covered about half of my questions. So you're perfect. So.
All right. No prompting.
I'd like to share with the group about your experience with Designed by Preeti.
As an independent filmmaker, and especially someone who's not from Hollywood, not connected to Hollywood, it's hard. It's hard making a film, and as you are going through your filmmaking journey too. But there is a community that I've found, and they're not very few Indians, period, in it, Southeast Asians. And so there is no Shonda Rhimes, if you're familiar, who's started the Black film movement. We need somebody like that to bring us together, and Mindy Kaling has done some work, but we need more representation. And I'm struggling with the funding of Designed by Preeti, because I've self-funded it and now keep continuing to add up and to get the film, to sell it to a distributor. So that's the phase that I'm in, again, trying to find a distributor. To get it to a distributor, I need, again, funds for deliverables, to do QC, to do rating. Just the MPA rating costs $10,000. And the MPA rating, for anybody who doesn't know, is a movie is sent to women, moms, and they watch the film and they say, I don't want my child of 12 to watch this. A child of 18 should watch. So MPA rating is really decided by women, moms, basically. So anyway, so that's the process I'm in. Was that your question? For the film? Yeah. And in terms of making the film, is that?
No. In terms of your experience with making the film.
Yeah. Making the film was very challenging, because I was wearing 3 hats. The writer hat, I was hoping to take off as soon as we went into production. and I was wearing the production hat and the lead actress. So between takes, when most actresses go into their green room and look over their script, which is what I've done, I was like, oh, is lunch here? Wait, that location fell through? Wait, okay, backup location. Oh, that background actor is not showing up. That actor is not showing up until later. What? So all of that production work. So I will never want to be a producer and a lead actor in a project ever. That was the hardest.
That was a question I was going to ask you. Which hat do you like the most?
Oh, actor. That's what I've done. That's it's in my genes. It's in my cell. It's in my DNA. That's what I want to do. To be telling the story rather than planning the story.
I think my preference is to be behind the camera.
Yeah, great. We would make a
we'll make a film. Yeah, definitely. What are some of your more memorable experiences from creating this film?
The camaraderie on set. When you work with trained actors, they show up. They know what they're doing. They bring the character, and just magic happens on screen. I have that slap scene. We had not practiced, and before that, there's a little bit of touching. And he asked me, he said, do you mind if I touch you here, there? And I said, no, fine. And then we just didn't rehearse it. And that scene just happened magically. There's several other scenes. There's a fight scene with the daughter, just not rehearsed, but she knew her work. I knew my work. And it was one take. Usually you have 20 takes. It was one take of us just sitting in on this couch and talking. It was just a beautiful scene. So that when that magic happens, you just get up from the thing and say, yes, this is what I was born to do, was to tell stories.
Wow. Yeah. I wanted to brag for Rashmi a little bit about the film festivals. She's done an incredible job, and then I'm going to ask her how she did it, is my question. But I just wanted to recite some of the film festivals that she's in and participated in. The Red Cedar Film Festival won the Best Narrative Feature Award winner. Brave Maker Film Festival, the gentleman that was being interviewed on screen was from there. She won Best Feature Audience Award winner. The Sundar Prize Film Festival, she was nominated for the Best Feature Film. The Houston International Film Festival, she's a Gold Remy Award winner. North Hollywood Cinefest, nomination for the director, Gayatri Bajpal, nominated for the Best Director. And she was a great director.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Oxford Film Festival, Dances with Wolves, Dances with Films, Austin International Film Festival, South Asian Film Festival of Montreal, Orlando Urban Film Festival, and some additional screenings, including North Hollywood, Washington, D.C., Orlando, and this weekend, the Chicago South Asian Film Festival. So how did you do it? How did you get so many festivals interested in your story?
Well, we submitted to a few more. So you get into some, you don't get into some. Some festivals you don't get into because your film doesn't line up with their theme that year. So it's no shade on the film. It's just that you didn't line up with their theme. And then the top tier, the Sundance and TIFF and Sundance, interestingly, last 2 years has not taken a single film that is submitted through the channel that most independent filmmakers submit their films, which is Film Freeway. Film Freeway is a platform where every film festival is listed, thousands of film festivals from the top tier like Toronto and Cannes and Sundance to the bottom tier. And you go create your page, you put your film there, and then you click submit and pay the fee. And Berlin Film Festival, I made the mistake of submitting. It was $300. Average submission is $50. I made a mistake of submitting, didn't get into that. And then I did submit to Sundance. That was a mistake. There's another $200 down the drain, because I found out for the last 2 years, Sundance has not taken a single film off of Film Freeway. They have their own lab. They have their own writer's lab. They start the writer from the beginning. They develop the script. They make the film. and walk it into the festival, or you're a big name filmmaker with a big name actor, and then your film gets walked in, of course. Then so some of those top tier festivals, independent filmmakers should not waste their money. I would save them $500 by just giving them this advice.
Yeah, it's very daunting. I'm
Yeah.
working on a documentary right now, and we're looking at some potential film festivals to throw our hat in. And I'm not even going down the Sundance route because it seemed like an impossibility, a statistical impossibility. But that's for another time. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the industry, the film industry. What do you see happening in the film industry as a whole, with content creators are being squeezed and AI is increasingly being a part of the filmmaking process?
So film industry started going down the drain 3 years ago with the writers' strike, the actors' strike, the union strike. Work is so little as a union actor for me. I barely get work in LA. In the Bay Area, I get little bits and pieces here and there. So for most independent filmmakers, the way to do it, especially if you're a minority group, if you're a woman of color, middle-aged, where all strikes are against you, is to create your own project. Basically, you create the effing door and then you walk into that door.
Yeah.
Is the answer. So there's, and with AI, that hasn't really affected independent filmmakers yet. It has made our lives a little easier.
Right.
As you still have to write the project, AI ain't gonna write it for you, but you can now do some things, some shortcuts there after in the pre-production arena.
Right.
But that's about it for now. I don't know how it's going to devolve or evolve.
I found AI to be really helpful in researching and figuring out something that you don't know, but you want to incorporate into your story. So it's been helpful, but it's an evolving space.
Yeah.
So what are your next steps with Designed by Preeti?
The last festival that we will be in is probably November.
Okay.
And after that, or December. And after that, I really want the film to be on a streaming platform. I have created enough traction for it. And while we're doing the festival journey, we have partnered with domestic violence organizations to do screenings under their umbrella or organized by them. So for example, in the Bay Area, there's an organization called CORA, CORA, and they are organizing a screening where there will be Q&A afterwards. At many of these festivals, I've found that people want to talk about their experience. There was another testimonial by a middle-aged Hispanic male who came to me, started talking and broke down and started crying. I have him on the video saying, "This is my parents' story." And the fact that your character says, "Stop, the abuse has to stop," was something that my mother did and finally got out of this. So the organizations, domestic violence organizations that are organizing these screenings want to create a dialogue, want to create this platform for people to talk. And so parallel to the festival journey, I'm trying to get these screenings going on. I might do one in Chicago for people who are missing the festival screening, and continue the message out there. So many Indians I have met, my own relatives who've lived here for 40, 50 years, who say, domestic violence in the Indian community? Nah. And I have to say, no, it's there. Here, go to My3 website, go to Narika website, go to Cora website. Listen to the testimony of all these women. Where do you live? So that's the ultimate journey, is to get it on a streaming platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. It will be great for all of us, so we can watch it anytime and share it with our friends. Just to kind of bring this up, a sensitive question. You touch on interracial relationships in Designed by Preeti. Have you had any backlash or any negativity because of it?
Not yet, no. And if somebody has felt that, they haven't said it to my face. So I don't know. But yes, in the movie, the character finds love with a Black man. And the story is loosely taken from a real life story where this young Indian woman was happily married, divorced her husband because she was in love with someone else. Community did not give her a hard time because she divorced her husband, but they gave her a really hard time because he's a Black man and he's a gym teacher. I made him a bartender, but this goes. So they stopped inviting her. They literally ostracized her from the Indian community. So yes, the racism in us comes out, it raises its ugly head. So.
Yeah, unfortunately. This will be my last question. If you were to give advice to any aspiring filmmaker, what would you suggest for them? What advice would you give?
Tell your story. Don't let anything stop you. Write your story. If you're not a writer, find a writer. Find a community where you can make a film. You can make a film with an iPhone. Just make a film.
We have one final clip to show. This is not Designed by Preeti. This is actually something different.
Yeah, this was a short film that I was in during the pandemic. It was made on Zoom, and the director found me from LA, and he said, "Hey, I'm making this film. Do you want to play so and so?" I was very familiar with so and so. I'm not going to tell her who that character is. You will know. And the guy who plays who's in the only other person who's in the film is a well-known LA actor. He's a well-known writer. Sean Parekh is his name, and he's a prolific writer and an actor. And so when I found out I was working with Sean, I said, yeah, sure.
Well, you can all agree with me that Rashmi is one talented person. Very funny. And
I have a little story. So the color cards. So I went, I was like, I have to do something funny. So I'll go to Home Depot and get those color swatches. It was the thick of the pandemic. My husband's like, you're not leaving the house. I said, no, I'll just mask. I won't touch anybody. I won't talk to anybody. So I just crawl into Home Depot and I pick up all the swatches and I got a binder ring. And then I came back and made the staple. And the director really liked it. He had written it very well. The dialogue is from chai to caramel chai latte to Tilda Swinton. I mean, it's just hilarious. She's so pale, Tilda Swinton. I don't know if you guys know. She's very pale, white.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're about done with this part of the evening. Rashmi, can you tell us about when you're going to be featured at the Chicago South Asian Film Festival?
This Saturday at 1:30 at the River Walk 21. I believe that's the theater.
Okay.
Yeah. Please come if you can. That would be lovely.
I'll be there. So all of you can come and hang out with me and Rashmi.
If anybody has any questions, we'll
be here. And there's some ras malai. So please have some dessert and enjoy and celebrate with us.
Did you want anybody?
Oh, yeah. Questions.
In the beginning, you were saying, then from there to how you writing your what inspired?
Right. I'm not a writer. And so when this OBGYN said, well, I do blog. So I mean, I do some writing. But when she said, you have to tell the story, I actually wanted to make a documentary, but nobody would talk to me. No young woman wanted to tell her story. So I started writing and took a lot of writing classes. I bought books, took online classes. There was time, pandemic was happening, nothing else to do. So
you're saying that you had a story and you present it.
Yes. I mean, that story about this young woman who's being coerced into having abortions was really, I had to walk that line really carefully because I'm really pro-choice, but I didn't want that message to be muddled. So to use abortion as birth control was not sitting well. And that's not sitting well with a lot of the OBGYNs that I talked to, that I interviewed. So I wrote this story and we have a group of actor friends where we read stories on Zoom. We read, and even for my feature film script, we did a lot of readings. And in the beginning, the abusive husband's character, he was very bad. And then we toned him down because the feedback I got from actor friends and from my director was that if he's really bad from the get-go, everybody's going to hate him. They're going to decide we don't like him. We don't want to hear what he has to say. But in the film, so now he turned out to be a very charming man, which is pretty normal. You know, a lot of people, abusive men that I have based the story on, are very charming in public, and then they go home and slap their wives.
Mhm.
So it's like, so I changed. You know, he's a likable man in public. So that kind of evolves, and you keep writing and writing and writing and honing, and yeah. Thank you. It's a 3.5 years of writing to get to that point in the script.
Yeah. Writing is, challenging. It's a very iterative process. You never know when you're done because you always think, well, maybe I can change this or maybe I can change that. So yeah, I mean, 3.5 years is probably the average amount of time it takes.
Yeah. And then I joined this production class, and the guy who teaches us is a very nice guy. He's made a lot of films, and he's like, make your film. Now you can't write and you can't keep writing. It'll never be perfect. Just go do it. So he's kind of lit the fire.
Please, I want to ask you, which was your most memorable moment you want to share with us?
I had a fun scene in The Avengers with Mark Ruffalo where, I mean, the scene is short and it's not that big a deal, but he was such a nice man, and it was a much longer scene, and his lines were in Hindi. So he made an appointment with me the day before, and at breakfast, he said, so I wrote down the Hindi phonetically for him, and he rehearsed, and then on set, he had that piece of paper. He was looking at it and saying it, and then sticking it in the pocket, and then so it was longer scene. It was cut down, but that was nice to have helped somebody, worked with somebody. I had very fun moments with Manisha Koirala in her film. I played her friend in India Sweets and Spices, and then I had a fun role in a show called Better Things, and it has a scene where my gay son marries another guy. And I arrived on set. I didn't know who this person was. And he's a very popular singer on YouTube. His name is Randy Rainbow. And he sings he's very left politically. And he sings parodies on Broadway songs. He's very talented and makes amazing parodies. And I was already a fan. I was like, and how many people are named Randy Rainbow? So must be the same guy. And so that was a fun. It's a long scene. He sings a song to his husband in the wedding, and it's a beautiful scene. It's a beautiful.
Thank you so much. You're an inspiration to so many.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Spice is not just a podcast, it's a movement for South Asian cinema. So I would really appreciate your support, and I appreciate your support in coming here today. I appreciate your support in helping me move this forward.